offense. What's that going to look like? I mean,
I'm not saying there's wholesale changes and things of that nature. I just want to make sure that we're all focused in and we're all on the same page. Not that we weren't before, but let's go ahead and really, look at, again, what exactly, do we want it to look like Saturday, and get a great plan, narrow it down a little bit. I think we might have been doing a little bit too much, and go into the game and execute the plan to the best of our ability after looking at things and trying to maybe cut it down a little bit. Again, execute better on offense, period.
We talked Sunday about Jay Prosh's role in the offense. First, how has he been in practice over the course of the season? And then what would that do to schemes as far as establishing the run, having a fullback in there?
Well, I think that, Jay is a very good football player on our team, and he's a very good leader on our team. I think he's got the whole, he's got a lot of respect from everybody on our team. And, him being on the field is something that, we've got to do more of. And I feel like, not just from, his leadership standpoint and the respect that he's got from all the players, but the value that he brings for us out there in terms of physicality. Now we're, starting to open it up a little bit where we can give him the ball some, which I think is good. He's a very powerful runner. So we're going to look at different ways to have him on the field a little bit more than we have previously.
Bray, do you expect Bray to go right back in as punt returner and slot?
We'll see. He's going to start practicing again with us today. He was out with us Sunday night. We're going to see where he fits, and he's going to have to work his way back into whatever role he gets for Saturday.
Coach Freeze is asked about y'all's offensive identity, and he said, he wasn't being mean or anything, but he says, I don't know. What do you want it to be?
I want us to be able to have definitive ideas on exactly how we're going to run the football and, stay with those, stay with the plan, stay with the run game plan, being able to protect our quarterback. The two things we're doing offensively right now that we've got to improve on is we're taking tackles for losses that are not sack related, and we're taking too many sacks. We've got too many negative plays out there. So we've got to be able to run the ball effectively, and we've got to be able to protect the quarterback. And part of that is the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands and making quick decisions. So whether we narrow down the routes, whether we narrow down the run game to exactly what it is that we feel like is the best for attacking a defense, the identity of our offense needs to be that we need to be a physical offense that can run the football and play action, throw it down vertically some during the game. So again, we've been very sporadic at that.
Do you challenge your offense to be? You got to be physical. If they got 8 men up front, you still got to be able to run. I mean, is that a challenge?
Yeah, I think so. I think that you can't always say that because they dropped an 8th or a 9th guy down there, we can't run the ball anymore. Obviously, you don't want to try to beat your head against the post, trying to do that every snap. That's why you got to be able to throw it down the field as well. But yeah, there's times you got to just line up right now, and it doesn't matter what they're in. You got to be able to run the football.
Gene, this is obviously Tuesday of week 7. When you say we need to have an idea of how we want to run the football, how much frustration do you have that hasn't been figured out, that you don't have that knowledge already?
Well, I wouldn't say that we don't have that knowledge. I don't think that's the case. I think it's more of focusing in on doing it more consistently and saying this is what we're going to do. So if it doesn't work for 2 or 3 plays, don't get away from it. You got to keep trying to go with what is your most effective, your most effective run plays, whatever those may be. So it's not that you don't know or we're trying to create new things. It's stay with what your ideas are and what your concepts are, and again, continue to run the football with what gives you the best chance to be productive.
As that happens, is part of that kind of obviously you've been given 3 running backs pretty regular carries in games, narrowing the carries you give to some guys and giving some guys more?
That could be part of the equation.
Gene, you said that players dealing with adversity is no different than coaches. Have you sought counsel or advice from peers during this time as well, guys outside this building?
Oh, you talk to all of your buddies in the business and things of that nature, but there's no one can give me any more counsel than I need. I see it, I'm here every day. I got it. I see exactly what's happening, and I know exactly what's happening with our football team. But, you know, you have your friends in the business, and you know, you talk to your friends, and, you know, I've been doing this 27 years, so there's really not a whole lot that I hadn't been through, one way or the other. So I don't need to, you know, seek advice from other people to handle adverse situations. I've been through plenty of them.
Gene, you know, you say before on film and things like that, it's never as good as it seems, it's never as bad as it seems, but being in this game this long, and 2 years ago, you got a little bit of a crystal ball, and now you're going forward. What, is it as bad as it seems now, or where is this team at? You said you know what the problems are, what are the problems?
Well, again, it's the inconsistency, and it's on both sides of the football. It's really just execution of what we're doing, and again, staying with the things that we believe in. And, you know, that's really what it comes down to. So it doesn't matter what happened 2 years ago. It only matters what's happening right now. And so those are the problems we're working every day to get fixed.
When you talked to them Sunday, can you share with us anything of what you said exactly to them?
I'm not gonna get into the details of anything that I said to our team, other than we're gonna keep working, and we're gonna stay very steadfast on what we believe in. And, you know, everybody on our team is gonna be focused in one direction, starting with me, and that's to win.
We talk a lot about the quarterbacks, but it doesn't seem like you, and I think you just asked something along these lines, but it doesn't seem like you've identified the tailback yet, who's been the most consistent in that area.
Are you asking?
Yeah, who's been consistent?
Well, I think
in that
Trey
area?
Mason's really done some good things. I really do. You know, it's been disappointing that, you know, we put the ball on the ground a couple of times at our tailback spot. Trey fumbled earlier in the year, but since then he's been really good. I think Trey's ran for some tough yards. Again, Mike's done some good things, but, you know, the fumble again in the game Saturday is discouraging. But we'll keep working with him, and we'll keep, you know, we'll keep developing Mike. You know, Ontario has been productive at times, you know, both on the perimeter and some inside as well at times during the year. So he's protected the football. And, you know, but we'll, again, we've got more than one guy that can, you know, that can touch the ball. We just got to use them, you know, in a way that they can be most productive.
How are D4 and Chris Davis doing? Are they making progress?
We'll see. You know, injury-wise right now, I think both those guys are a little beat up. But again, we'll know more with those guys as the week